He had twisted her words, painted a false picture, all to drive a wedge between them. "Oh, Jack, that job means nothing to me," Vicky declared, her voice firm, unwavering. "But you do." The words were a balm to Jack's wounded heart, a profound relief washing over him. The misunderstanding, the pain, the guilt, it all began to dissipate. Replaced by a surge of hope and overwhelming affection, he reached for her, pulling her into a tight embrace. The world outside, the wedding, the guests, faded into insignificance. All that mattered was Vicky, in his arms, her confession echoing in his ears. "So, tell me what my dear, sweet father said," Vicky demanded, pulling back slightly, a dangerous glint in her eyes. "He told me," Jack began, but he was cut off by a new voice, laced with impatience. "Harry, where's Jack? He's supposed to give me away." Janet's voice, a little strained, came from the living room. Terry, seeing the kitchen door ajar, called out, "Yeah, he's in the kitchen with Vicky." She's in the kitchen with Vicky," Larry repeated, his eyes wide with curiosity. "Yeah, but I don't think Jack is doing too well." Mr. Bradford, who had been lingering near the kitchen door, unseen until now, suddenly burst into the room, his face contorted with rage. "Larry, this has just gone far enough. Nobody sees me," he roared, his voice echoing through the apartment. Jack and Vicky, startled, turned to see Mr. Bradford, a furious whirlwind of indignation. He was clearly upset about being ignored, his carefully orchestrated plan unraveling before his eyes. "Oh no. That was low. That was really low," Vicky muttered, shaking her head at her father's dramatic outburst. "Oh, stop that." Janet, having followed Mr. Bradford, stepped into the kitchen, her bridal gown rustling. She looked at Jack and Vicky, then at her father, a look of exasperation on her face. "Listen, you two." Her voice was firm, commanding. "Jack, I know that you are crazy about Vicky." Jack's eyes widened, surprised by her directness. "Janet, wait, she..." "And, Vicky, I know that you're crazy about Jack," Janet continued, ignoring Jack's protests, her gaze unwavering. "Oh, Janet, listen." "Everything," Vicky began, trying to explain the complexities of the situation. "No, you listen." Janet cut her off, her voice imbued with a newfound authority, the spirit of her wedding day empowering her. "Now, I want you to stop. Stop acting like a couple of silly kids. And I want you to make up, and I want you to do it right now. Go on." She gestured between them, a determined glint in her eyes. Jack and Vicky looked at each other, then back at Janet, a mixture of embarrassment and amusement on their faces. They were caught. "Well, what do you think?" Jack whispered to Vicky, a small smile playing on his lips. "I guess we'd better do what she says," Vicky whispered back, a hint of laughter in her voice. They turned to Janet, a sheepish grin on their faces, and embraced, a tender, loving hug that spoke volumes. The tension in the kitchen evaporated, replaced by a warm glow of reconciliation. "Now, that's more like it." Janet beamed, satisfied with her matchmaking skills. "Janet, what are you doing standing around? You're supposed to be getting married. Come on." She turned, ready to resume her walk down the aisle. Mr. Bradford's, however, was still fuming. "Oh, my God, nobody sees me now either," he grumbled, feeling completely overlooked. Janet, ignoring her father's theatrics, took her place at the head of the aisle, Jack by her side. The organ music swelled once more, a softer, more hopeful tune this time. The minister, a kind-faced man, began the ceremony. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God, to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony." "Who gives this woman to be wed to this man?" Jack cleared his throat, stepping forward. "Well, normally, it would be Janet's father, but since he's not here," he looked pointedly at Mr. Bradford, who was still muttering to himself. "You just say, 'I do.'" "I do," Jack stated, his voice clear and strong, a testament to his friendship with Janet. The minister continued, his voice resonating with warmth. "The success of a marriage is not just the responsibility of the husband and wife, but all those who love and are near to them. This marriage should not mean the end of old friendships. Rather than losing one another, you should feel more tightly bound than ever, sharing the joy and happiness." His words seemed to directly address the little family they had created in this apartment. a testament to the enduring bonds of friendship. Do you, Philip, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love, honor, and cherish, for richer or poorer? I do. Philip's voice was steady, filled with love. And do you, Janet, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love, honor, and cherish, for richer or poorer, so long as you shall live? I do. Janet's voice, though soft, was clear and unwavering, brimming with happiness. May I have the ring, please? The minister asked. Jack, as the unofficial best man, handed Philip the ring. Place this on the third finger of her left hand and repeat after me. With this ring, I the wed. With this ring, I the wed, Philip repeated, his gaze fixed on Janet, his love evident in every line of his face. By the power vested in me, by God, and the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Philip leaned in, a tender smile on his face, and kissed Janet, a long, heartfelt kiss that sealed their vows. The assembled guests erupted in applause, a wave of joy washing over the apartment. Oh, thanks. Philip grinned at the minister. Mr. Furley, ever the opportunist, seized the moment. Oh, Mr. Moreau. Oh, Janet. I'm so happy. Congratulations. He enveloped Janet in a surprisingly warm hug. Vicky, having composed herself, approached Janet, her eyes still a little red, but her smile genuine. Oh, Janet, I'm sorry. I almost spoiled your wedding. Janet hugged her tightly. Oh, no. Vicky, you coming here today was the best present I could have gotten. Her words, simple and sincere, conveyed the depth of her friendship, her happiness at Vicky and Jack's reconciliation overshadowing any temporary disruption. Larry, seeing the general atmosphere of affection, approached Vicky, a shy smile on his face. Janet, Larry, what can I say? Wow. He paused, then, emboldened by the moment, leaned in and gave Vicky a quick, chaste kiss on the cheek. You know, that's the first time you ever kissed me. Vicky, surprised but amused, laughed. And the last. Larry's face fell, but he quickly recovered. I hope you two are very happy. You deserve it, princess. Oh, thank you, Larry, Vicky replied, touched by his sincerity. All right, everybody's invited down to my place for refreshments, Janet announced, her voice ringing with joy. Wait, Janet, wait. What? Honey? Philip called out, a mischievous glint in his eye. Haven't you forgotten something? What? Oh, my. You're right. Oh, Janet's gonna throw the bridal bouquet. Let her rip, Janet exclaimed, suddenly remembering the tradition. She turned, her back to the crowd, the beautiful bouquet clutched in her hands. Thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. She tossed the bouquet high into the air. It sailed gracefully, a flurry of white and green, before landing squarely in Vicky's outstretched hands. A collective gasp, then a cheer. Vicky looked at the bouquet, then at Jack, a shy smile playing on her lips. All right, let's go, down to my apartment, Janet declared, leading the joyous procession out of the apartment, leaving Jack and Vicky standing amidst the lingering scent of flowers and the echoes of laughter. Chapter 4. The Unconventional Proposal. The apartment, now quiet, felt charged with a different kind of energy. The remnants of Janet's wedding, scattered petals, a forgotten ribbon, the faint scent of lilies, served as a gentle backdrop to the profound conversation that was about to unfold between Jack and Vicky. The air, thick with unspoken emotions, hummed with anticipation. Vicky held the bridal bouquet, its delicate petals a stark contrast to the tumultuous emotions swirling within her. She looked at Jack, her eyes still a little teary from the earlier emotional roller coaster, but now filled with a hopeful tenderness. Jack, his heart still pounding from the reconciliation, stepped closer, his hand reaching out to cup her cheek. What do you know? God, I missed you so much these last few days. His voice was rough with emotion, a raw honesty that touched Vicky deeply. The misunderstanding, the pain, the fear of losing her. It had all been a stark reminder of how much she meant to him. Vicky leaned into his touch, her own hand reaching up to intertwine with his. Oh, I missed you, too, she whispered, her voice thick with affection. And I am never gonna let you out of my sight again. Jack